Still off air? Hi everybody, we should be live, yes. Okay, welcome everybody. Let me just take this thing. Welcome everybody to this first live food design webinar. Very excited to be here. I'm Dr. Francesca Jean Paul. I'm the founder of the Online School of Food Design, and it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you to this first food design webinar called How I Became a Food Designer. Today's guests are, in fact, 4 food designers. Well, 3 at the moment. 1 more might be joining us from 2 food design studios. One is called Papila. They're based in Spain. We have Eva and Roberto with us. And the other studio is called Studio AMeBE from Italy. We have Eleonora at the moment with us. Alessandra might be joining us. She just became a mom, so she's probably stuck in traffic, but we all empathize with her and understand her. Whenever she is ready to come, we'll be here waiting for her. This webinar is the time for all of us to be inspired by these food designers, to learn from their work and their experience, and see what they have done. Really, this webinar is about us being inspired by these wonderful people that we have today. So thank you, first of all, to our guests for joining us, and welcome to those of you who joined us live to this wonderful, I'm so excited, first food design webinar. And welcome to those of you who are listening to this as a podcast. And to those, to these people, to you, if you're listening to this as a podcast, remember that if you want to see the live webinars, you just have to join us in the online school of food design.org, sign up for the free live webinars, and you'll be able to see the next live webinars and the replays for past webinars. Okay, I would like to start by introducing our guests, but I feel like I've already spoken too much. So I'm going to ask our guests to introduce themselves just very quickly, just 1 minute, say who you are, where you come from, and why you're here. And then we're going to go more into it. Okay, Eva from Papila.
Hello, I'm Eva from Papila, and this is Roberto. And we have another partner, but he's at the moment in Madrid and he couldn't be here. And we are from Castellón, Spain, and we are here because you invited us to talk about our job.
That is a great answer. Eleonora? Eleonora, did you freeze? Did the image freeze? Let's see. Oh, where did she go? Did she just disappear? Maybe she did. I think, Eleonora, are you here?
It jumped. So
okay.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. These things happen. It's live. It's perfectly fine. Actually, we're demonstrating that we are live, so it's great. Do you want to tell us just 1 minute who you guys are, what your names are? I'm going to let you speak for Alessandra as well. And just 1 minute, where you come from and why you're here and what you do.
Okay. So, well, I'm really sorry that Alessandra couldn't make it, and I hope she will, although the truth is that her baby has a little bit of flu, so most probably, I don't know if she'll be, she's actually at home, so she's trying to get online from her home position.
Right.
But
so you can say hi. Ciao, Alessandra.
Yeah, but I don't know if she'll be able to speak at all. But anyways, I'm Eleonora, and Alessandra is my work partner. Together, we make the AMeBE. We've been working together for since 2008, and in 2008 we decided to make our own studio, which is called Studio AMeBE. So it's inspired by the concept of the amoeba, and it also makes it makes our name Alessandra Mantovani and Barbareschi Nolora, so it's our first and last name. So we started working a lot with food design in the beginning when we first started working. Now we're dealing with all sorts of projects, not mostly food design, but we are very passionate about food and design. So that's how it all started, let's say. So, well, I'm not going to talk about the project that we'll be presenting later. So I mean, so we're designers and we have our own studio. We're based in Milan, Italy, and I think this is all I can say for now.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we move on, I just want to give a shout to everybody who is here live today, and hello to you. The underneath, if you are on the, you should be right now, if you're watching this live, you should be on the webinars page, and underneath the, what looks like a YouTube screen, that is where, by the way, if you haven't already figured out, just click on the YouTube icon and you will be able to see us live. And underneath there is a green thing. That is where the chat room was supposed to be. Unfortunately, because we are live, we had technical problems, and it's this green thing says this group is too small to use. But if you click in there, another page will open and you will still be able to access the chat room. So please just go in there and let us know. Yes, I would like to welcome you and give a shout out to you. Tell us where you're from, where you are joining us, and tell us why you are, if you are excited to be here. Tell us something about you. I see we have already a bunch of people here. Marius, I know you very well, kind of very well. Tell us where you guys are from and just start asking questions if you want in this chat room, and we will be able to answer later on. Okay. Brilliant. There's a link. Okay. Should we start, ladies and gentlemen? Do we want to start with Papila? Papilas, guys. Do you want to start? Yeah. Awesome. So thank you again for being here. Your work, guys, is quite fantastic. I'm very excited you accepted this invitation. Take it away. Tell us the story of how you became food designers and show us what you guys have been up to.
Okay. I share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can see some images. Exciting.
One moment. Okay. We are Papila, a design studio specialized in food. Our work is centered on investigation, design, and innovation projects related with everything regarding with the dining experience. And Papila, as I told you before, we found it in 2009. One of our founders is Alberto Alza. Nowadays he's teaching a workshop in Madrid. And the other is Roberto Cortés. He's near me. And me, and I'm Eva Garcia. Roberto and Alberto studied technical engineering in industrial design, and Alberto specialized in graphic design, and Roberto specialized in product design. And I studied interior design, a degree of interior design. And Alberto and Roberto know each other at the university, but years later they know me because I'm the girlfriend of one of Alberto's friends. And we started to work together, and our passion of food started at that moment, more or less. And I used to work as a draftswoman on an engineering office, and Alberto works as a freelance, and Roberto used to work as a draftman too. And then when we decided to start to making works together, we stopped working on our works. We have different studies, and we have a different point of views of everything, and because of that we do very different projects and with with our multidisciplinary point of view. I don't know how to say it, but we combine design and food in fields like product design, interior or space or even design, and graphic design too. And the most known product we design is called citrus spray, and it was made for Leque. It's a device that you can screw into the lemon, and then you can spray lemon juice directly, and this is our best known product. But a few months ago, we designed this drinks cabinet. The company that hired us wants to make a different drinks cabinet, because nowadays when you go to a hotel, the drinks cabinet you have, it's a small refrigerator with a door or without a wood door, and you have one or two glasses, and you have nothing else. And the experience of the customer, it's really bad. And we designed that drinks cabinet thinking about the experience of the customer, because we designed two drinks cabinet inspired on the company is here from Spain, and we designed that cabinet inspiring with the nature we have around and the most common materials here, the terracotta material and the wood. And we inspired too with the facades of the buildings. And you have two versions of the drinks cabinet with the two or terracotta facade or the greens facade, like windows. And the smallest version allows to put a refrigerator inside, some glasses, even you can put inside a safety box. And the biggest one allows you to put the refrigerator, safety box, a coffee machine, and even it has a device, a Bluetooth device that you can connect your mobile phone, and it works as your mic. Works as a sound system. And the experience of the customer here, it's really great, and it's really good, because we thought even with the proportion, well, we thought about the
dimensions.
The dimensions of it, and we thought about even with the people who, smallest people, biggest people, and they could use it really easily. And on the part of the interior or events design, we work with a local brand called Castillo Ruta de Sabor. It's a local brand that, and they join all the small producers of the city, and they wanted to do several pop-up spaces in which they can put all the products they have, and they wanted to be modular and and nomadic, because one day they could be in one town, and 2 days before they would be in another village 17 kilometers far, and they needed that. And we designed a space, and the boxes that you see now, they are built by an artisan from here, and they will build with wood. They will be with wood, natural wood, because we wanted to be more natural, and the importance of the we wanted to show the products, only the products, not the container of the things. The importance here is the product we are selling here, and that kind of boxes you can build in different ways and in different places, and it's really modular and removable and so on. And the most known thing we do is food design, and for us food design is the discipline. We consider food design the discipline that the food is a material you can take form, and it's a designing material, as it could be wood or glass or plastic or whatever. And we made a few workshops, and this is the result of one of our workshops. And this is a clown nose made by chocolate. And this is from that workshop too. This comb. It's a typical Spanish comb that is used in religious things that girls or ladies put hair, and they thought they did it is like a chocolate cone that you could put it on the ice cream, as it was a cone for ladies. And another workshop done in only with chocolate appears that it's called the perfect bite, and you can do different kind of chocolates. You can choose, for example, one part of a cinnamon candy, another part of marshmallow, and another part of chocolate, and you have your perfect bite. But another person can choose scotch and cinnamon and curry candy, and everybody could make a different perfect bite. And in that workshop too, we studied the origins of chocolate and how the Mayas do it, and they drink, and how they drink it, and then they make the original recipe, more or less, of the chocolate, and it was like a natural Red Bull, and we made the different chocolate energy pills with that kind of recipe, and drink the natural Red Bull drink only with chocolate. And in that workshop appears two chocolate souvenirs, and that kind of souvenirs that you give to your friends or family, and then when they can eat it, and it's more enjoyable than another souvenirs that they give to you. Another kind of food design is, for example, the pen caps that you can see here, or the bottom of the pencil. We usually bite it, and if you bite it with chocolate flavor, it's tastier and it's cooler than. And then you have another kind of chocolate souvenirs, but these ones are in 3D. And with all of that, workshops and things we were doing, we created our collection, as we called our collection. There's a Papila collection, and that collection started. That's a few images of the collection. You can see more at our website. In Spain, we are used to, when we finish a dish, we used to clean it with bread, and we clean the dish with bread, and then it's the scourer. We make a scourer when you can clean right the dish, and then you can eat it. And another project is the butter candle. Usually when you remove butter from the fridge, it's really cold. It's really cold, and you can use it. But with the butter candle, you light it and then start it melt it, and you can start to spread on your bread. And with the tradition we have to give people jewels. We mix it and we make chocolate jewels, and you can make a really special gift for your friends. And that's the chocolate souvenirs, but as I told you before. And then you have that cookies. They have a tap, and with that tap you can dip the cookie on your milk or on your coffee, and you don't without getting your fingers wet. And the solid coffee, it's we make a coffee solid, and then you could take it and you could eat your coffee wherever you go in 1 or 2 bites. We have a sugar stick, and that's a sugar you remove with your sugar your coffee or your tea or whatever you are drinking, and then it turns in chocolate or coffee instant lollipop or chupa chup, and you can eat it. And you have the tea bath. It's the level of the tea bag. It's a boat, and then you put your tea bag on your tea, and the boat is always floating, and you don't have to search for the level because it's on the water, and all of these things are nowadays. A few years ago, the Spanish minister, I don't know exactly how is the name, but they took off part of our collection of food design and the Future Sprite, and they make an exhibition. That exhibition is around the world. They started that exhibition in Tokyo. Then of Tokyo it was Miami, Toronto, Washington, and it's around the world. And that's the pieces that they have from us on that exhibition. There are this exhibition is the best of food design or or food in Spain, and that exhibition nowadays is still running through the world. And to finish with my speaking, I'm going to show you the part of graphic design we are making nowadays. It's called Food History, and that books. We started this book 3 years ago because we all of the investigation and research we are making day after day, and we have tons of information, and we decided to take all of that information and put it in a book, because we found it really interesting and really exciting, because there's nothing else right now like this. And I show you 2 pages of the book because we are finishing it right now, and this week or maybe next week we are going to take the book to the print, and we explain how humans became as we became, because we're starting to cook food, and when we cook food we start to being like we are, like humans are nowadays. And food, for us it's really important, and it's our job, and we love it, and that's it. We are this. Thank you.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. I don't know if we can give a virtual applause, but I'm going to give you one now. And I'm sure everybody else who is following us live is giving you a virtual applause as well from their part of the world, wherever people are. Thank you so much. Fantastic. So I want to read you a couple of questions that came up while you were talking. First of all, super interesting. Of course, your work is it's excellent and inspiring, and it covers quite a few angles, let's say, of food design. So first of all, we have people saying hello from London, from Colombia, but living in Barcelona. Somebody else from London, and then we have France. Marius from Barcelona, and Colombia, blah blah blah. And we've just been joined by Lin Yi, who happens to be the editor of This Is Mold, one of my favorite websites. So hello to you too. So there was, for example, one question. Just quickly, just because this question came up, but I'm going to ask it to you. But we'll then jump to AMeBE, and then in the end, we're going to have a proper question and answer session, if it is all right with you. Mario is asking, Eva and Roberto, did you know that from the beginning that your project were part of the concept called food design? I realized that most designers who started working with food and its peripheries didn't start using the word until a few years ago. That is kind of true. What do you guys think?
It's true, because in the term of food design, it was coined a few years ago. It's not. It's when they started to work with food. They call them food designers, but they really don't know what they were doing.
Yep. So what about you? When did you figure out, hey, this is what we are doing?
About me? Well,
yeah. Has Papila always been a food design studio?
We started in 2009 when we make some some workshops. And then when we started to work, the three of us together, we realized that we really love work with food and everything related with food, because we work with everything, even the store where you buy your food and the final product you can eat it on your dish, or the gadgets where you used to work with the food, and for us is our life.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, thank you so much. Let's switch off to AMeBE. Let's switch off to Eleonora. Switch to Eleonora. And yes, take it away. Tell us the story of who AMeBE are and how you became who you became and how you are involved in the world of food design. I have known you guys forever, since my very first steps into this world. Probably within the first year that I started working in food design, I knew of you. So maybe because you're Italian as I am, but who knows? So yeah, take it away. Tell us the story of AMeBE and food design.
Okay, so well, I think our contribution is going to be a little briefer, because I mean, our portfolio is not as strong, let's say, because we are not mainly focused on food design, but we did start with a big focus on food design. So actually, it's one of the first products that Alessandra and I designed back in 2008, and it was actually.
But wait, Eleonora, this is not it's not like your portfolio is less strong. It's just that you are not only food designers.
Yes,
you also work with others.
No, I said it's not as strong in the field of food design. We're not going to.
But it really is. It really is, I think. So
okay.
And what I had a thought and it's gone. Okay, no worries. Sorry.
Okay. But anyways. So, but what is really interesting is that both Alessandra and I are very passionate about food. So in the beginning, in 2008, when we started working, it was pretty natural for us to start working on the theme of food. So the product that we're going to bring as an example, we actually designed it for this design boom competition that had the title of Dining in 2015, and it really started off as just like a simple design competition, and we got shortlisted, and just without really doing much PR or communication work, we just started to get a lot of publications, both web and on press. So we started getting requests for our product, and we were pretty excited. But you know, the product was just a concept; it didn't really exist. We just had the idea for Design Boom. So we had all these people writing to us, and at the time we had a lot of space and time for us, you know, to give this project priority. So we decided to do this small production. It was 30,000 pieces, and from there the project started. But I'm just going to share quickly my screen.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, so so the product is called the Finger Dip, and it's latex finger caps to eat with your hands. So as I said, we designed the product in 2008, which is when Alessandra and I started working together. The design competition, I think, was in 2008. And we actually produced the product in 2009 and won the Red Dot Design Award in 2010. So, I mean, we just have a couple of images about the product, but it pretty much speaks for itself. It started as a provocation because truly what we think is that eating with your hands is actually the best experience. So it started out as a provocation because we didn't really want to design tableware, so it was our interpretation as a substitute to tableware. So it's pretty much, I mean, what they are mostly, I mean, basically it's just condoms. And we designed the packaging, we designed the logo, we designed the communication, and so it was mostly sold for events. And let's see if I have some more photos from here. Oops. I should have bigger images. So it was a very nice experience because it's a product that we developed from concept to production, and it was our independent. Oops. So here you can see some images of the packaging. So it was a really nice experience for us to see our product developed from concept to production, having good requests for it. And obviously, once it was sold out, we decided not to start a new production, because the big jump we had to do was from 30,000 pieces to 6 million pieces. So it was a nice adventure. We were very excited. We won this very important award. And then now we still have a few prototypes left. We still have some requests coming every once in a while, but we just kept it on hold for now. And so an event that happened recently is that we discovered that young designers from London, actually they're originally from Italy, they had, let's say, to be nice, a very similar idea, which has been now going around the web. And the product is called Tidy Tips. Let's see.
So while you search, I just want to jump in. I think thank you for mentioning this, Eleonora, and being so open about this. I think this is a great example of what can happen to design professionals, designers. Your ideas can get stolen, maybe on purpose, maybe not, who knows, we'll never know. But even if these guys didn't do it on purpose, you guys all know that the first thing that we have to do as food designers is do our research. And if these guys had just looked on the internet for a similar concept, they would have found yours, because yours was all over, it still is all over the internet.
Yeah.
So how did you guys react? Teach us, what should we do?
And not only, we also found, I think there's, in China, there's also, we had discovered someone else in China that was, that made like some copy packaging. Now, these images that I'm finding are not very interesting, I'm sorry. But at some other point, we did, someone showed us basically our idea, our packaging with a slightly different name and slightly different background. So, so the way we reacted, honestly, right now, since we've been working on many projects, now we're on hold. We're still understanding what to do. We spoke to our lawyer, and basically, you know, with these projects, there isn't so much you can do in terms of protecting yourself. We did register the design, we did register the trademark, but still it's not enough. You know that if you make certain changes to a product, you can still get away with it. So this is basically what happened. And now we're still thinking about it. Probably the best that we could do is to get in competition and try to produce the product again with an important or stronger producer, so that we just become competitors and we try to win over them. This is what should be happening. But in terms of not privacy, but in terms of protecting our design, there's nothing we can do.
So let me interrupt you one more time, Leonora, sorry, but I just really want this to be a shout out to all of us all of you who are becoming food designers. When we are on our way to become food designers, when we are on our way to design something new, guys, let's just do our research. Let's just remember to look around and be ethical in this sense as well, and be fair to other designers. There's an infinite amount of possibilities out there. Let's design something original and let's not steal ideas. That would be great. Eleonora, go. Sorry.
Yes, I mean, this is pretty much, you know, what it is. And then, well, we actually just wanted to focus on this product because this is, well, now we're working with food design again, and hopefully next year we'll have more food design products coming out. But what we did in the first years working with food design was more conceptual. So we did show, we did design, this is another concept. So the idea behind this product, it was designed for aperitivi. So the idea was to use the empty space of a bottle to embed a toothpick in a beer top. So this was shown as a prototype at a food design show in, I think it was 2009. And it was in collaboration with Material Connection, but it's all very experimental. So we did make a small prototype, but then it didn't have. Oh, and it was on show at the Triennale Museum in Milan. Let's see if it loads. Okay, so this was the idea. So at that time, aperitivi were very famous in Italy or in Milan. I mean, they still are right now. And then another prototype that was actually on show for a show in London was this one, and this was still 2009. So our food design is oriented more towards consumer products. So here we're still working with beer. I think at that time we were drinking a lot of beer. So the idea is to have a plate or a dish that can fit into the neck of a beer bottle, so that you can eat, so that you can eat or hold your food with one hand, eat, and then if you need to take a sip of your beer, you can just take the dish out to have a sip and then always have one hand free. So it was more about usability and trying to design something intelligent that could be good for eating when you're standing. And something similar did come out. We're not sure if it was copied from us or if it was a similar idea, but I'm not even going to bring it up because it's not. But it was a design oh, this was actually with a design competition with Peroni and Alessi. And then it was on show in London. And that's it.
Can I ask you to maybe go over the exciting things, the project that I really liked with regards to your communication design side of your studio? You have done quite a few things, quite a few things with regards to communication design that have to do with food, but in particular, you have done a couple of things, I think two at least, for Le Ricette dei Designers.
Oh, sorry. Of course.
And I think that's interesting because when we talk about communication design or graphic design, it's an interesting line there where we can join communication design and graphic design to food design. But in a way, you are communicating about design you are communicating about food or through food. I think that's an interesting thing. Would you take us through maybe a couple of examples and your thinking process, maybe?
So just very quickly, there was this really nice project that started with Ottagono, which is the famous, let's say, design. Ooh, debug. Ottagono is the famous. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, something's going on.
Perfect. We hear you perfectly.
Yeah, there's just a problem with the page. There's a bug or something.
We see the page.
No, but there was, I don't know, it wasn't opening the image. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so it was called Le Ricette dei Designer. So they just invited a bunch of designers to design food recipes, obviously with some sort of like design interpretation or approach, sorry, not interpretation. So for each book, they just gave us a theme. So I think we started with like appetizers and then we went on. And I think we didn't participate to all of them because they always had very restricted deadlines and sometimes we couldn't make it. But this is an example. So, I mean,
Eva?
no, Eva, to translate.
Okay. Sorry, Eleanor. Sorry, your voice just went out for a second.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying.
Now, you're good.
It was in Italian, so it's kind of hard for me to translate, but we were playing both with, let's say, copy and visual. So, for example, this project, it's called E fatela una risata. So in Italian, risata means laughing. Inside it has the word rice. So basically, the title of the recipe is like, have a laugh. And so we're having this rice bowl that's coming out with these laughing rice seeds. But it's hard to translate because the title obviously makes, I mean, it's both visual and title that are making the game, let's say. So the recipe itself, I don't even remember what it was, but so we had to like give a story to the recipe, describe the ingredients.
So this is the recipe that you gave, but did you do more than one recipe, or did you do the graphic for other recipes?
Yeah. We did the graphic for each recipe. We did the graphics. That was one.
I remember the gnocchi is the one that I like.
Yeah, gnocchi di patate. I don't even think we put it on our website.
Yeah. I think you just scrolled it. I think you just passed it down.
Because we have cavoli amari here. I saw.
There it is, just below finger deep.
So. Oh, no, it's, oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah. So, gnocchi di patate. So, see, we're always playing with words. Let's see if it opens. It's hard to translate, but in Italian, gnocchi. How do you translate
everybody
gnocchi?
knows what gnocchi are. Everybody around the world knows what gnocchi are. They probably pronounce it gnocchi, but...
Gnocchi. But it's funny because in Italian, gnocchi it's this food, but gnocchi, so feminine, means like hot chick. So basically we design like the gnocchi, so the hot chicks. So the illustration is, let's see if it opens. So we always have this kind of ironic approach when we're designing. So here we're representing the gnocchi, and the recipe is very simple. It was actually gnocchi with butter and Parmesan, I think it was. So it was then, oof, the script is giving issues.
No worries.
Sorry, the script.
No worries. And it's interesting that you say these are two examples where you use play on words.
Yeah.
And I think it happens. It happens. I don't know if I can say often, but it happens quite a bit for food designers in particular to use a play on word. Maybe it's because just food lends itself so well to being funny and approachable and light in this sense. And I think there's something beautiful for food designers to leverage on, and as we can see, you two have done it a couple of times, and in this sense quite successfully, I would say.
And Yeah, and I mean, and obviously we've been working with food. For example, I mean, here's only one example. We've done different projects with wine. So these are just, let's say, wine labels.
Tell us about wine labels, because I think that especially for people who do graphic design, I mean, I remember when I studied graphic design, there was always a wine label to try and design for one of the tests, one of the exams.
Yeah, so
and in general, graphic designers seem to always end up designing a wine label,
yes.
and it's something that I think stimulates the interest of food designers as well. So
Yes.
it's very interesting in between worlds. Tell us about it. What do you think? What is the approach we should have about designing a wine label? What did you do?
It's very challenging because obviously with wine, you know that the label is what stands right in front of you when you're buying wine. So I mean, obviously, what you do with any project, you always try to develop an aesthetics that is representative of the content. So, and you always want to combine that with the brand that you're representing, and it's a mixture of many things. But I mean, for sure, wine, you're dealing with something that's normally it's very elegant and precious to start with. So it does give you a bit of anxiety when you're trying to represent it, and it's something that has only started lately. I mean, most wine labels are either very classical, or wine factories normally work more with like artists, and the approach is very different. So it's very hard not to fall into something that's too cold in a way, I think, just because the field of wine is so ancient that you have, I think, this responsibility. I mean, this example that we're showing, it was a very new wine brand that had just began. So the aesthetic is very fresh, but it's meant to be fresh because it's representing a new vineyard. So we were very pleased with the result. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Anything else that you want to add?
No.
Awesome. Okay. Brilliant. So thank you again. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah, another applause. Yes, from here and from everywhere in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fantastic. I would say let's open it up to the public and let's hear it from people. Guys, any questions that you have? Again, for those who maybe joined in the middle of this, I apologize for the chat not being underneath the video. I mean, for not being in the same page. Something went wrong there. But if you just click on the green thing, you open another page that has the chat where we are chatting, where we are conversating. So guys, I would open it up to you on the chat room or on Twitter. Any questions for these lovely people, lovely food designers? Oh, I see you guys have been tweeting also. Awesome. Let me see here. There have been conversations going on. Maybe do you ever, and Eleonora, do you want to put in the chat room the link to both maybe your website and Eva, your the book, and maybe Eleonora about Fingertip and your own studio, so you can put if you put the links here, people can just go and have a look. Let's see.
I will put only the link of our web page because the link of the book isn't yet.
Okay, yeah, okay. One thing that I wanted to ask you guys, one question for Eleonora, and then it kind of relates, but in a different format, to another question that I have for Eva. You talked about you started with a competition, right? Was it 2008, you said? 2009?
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, how old were you? Were you just out of university? Were you still?
Hold on, I'm just... Yes, so I was born in 1984, so that is think I was 23 maybe, or
right? So very young. Probably if you hadn't already finished your bachelor degree, you were about to finish it, and you started
actually
with
I think I had also finished my master's degree actually.
right? Okay, yeah. So and you jumped in a competition to start, and you started with a competition.
Yes.
This is something that I also advise people who want to start in this career as food designers. Just start designing, and the first thing, take any competition, any design competition, and just do something. And by the way, I in preparation for this webinar, I published a video on my YouTube channel called "How to Become a Food Designer." Yes, and this is exactly one of the advice that I give. So, Eleonora, why did you think of a competition? What was your thinking process at the moment? Did you think of it as a, let's see what happened, it might be a waste of time, or were you just filled with energies? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you start working, that you're just filled with energies and ideas, and competitions are a really great opportunity for you to express yourself and to confront yourself with you know, with work with other designers. I think in the beginning, when you're starting to work, one of the most difficult things to do is to actually get commissions, get work. So
Yeah.
competitions are a great opportunity. And there's different types of competitions. I mean, obviously, like Red Dot Design Award is also a great I mean, it's not a design competition, it's a design award, but you're still applying and you're going through a whole procedure. So when you win, you know, you just become you get visibility, and you do networking, and you know, it all builds from there.
Yeah, and even if nothing happens with the competition itself, like even if really nothing happens, you still have something for your portfolio, and you still
Oh, sure.
can add stuff to your portfolio. So in a similar line, Eva and Roberto from Papila, you have put together the funds for your book through Kickstarter, and this is another interesting approach to start a project, especially a big project like a book. Would you like to tell us why Kickstarter, why Kickstarter, and how you actually found doing this with Kickstarter? Was it easy? Was it difficult? What were the steps that you had to consider? What would you do differently? What advice would you give for people start thinking about funding a project with Kickstarter?
We thought in Kickstarter because it was an international platform, and it gives you, everybody is able to see your work wherever they are. But Kickstarter that has that pro, but it's a contra because there are a huge amount of projects that makes your project invisible, and it's really hard. You have to work a lot with the communication, with press, even several websites. Even you have to work with a company that we have to work with a company that help us with the communication, because it's really difficult to. It's a great experience, but it's really hard experience.
Yeah, but you guys did it. You reached your goal.
Yeah.
I think you had. If we can say, can we say how much was your goal?
We need 15,000 euros,
Yeah.
and we reached 17. I don't know the amount exactly, but yeah.
So it was hard, but it is possible with hard work, as you put in. So well done to you.
More than we thought. It's more work than we thought, because it's really, really, it takes all of your time.
Would you do it again?
Nowadays, don't, no. But in a few months or years, probably.
Okay, let's see if there are some questions. I think Fanny had a question, and she said, how do you consider the ecological impact in terms of sustainability? I think she is copying this question from above, from when you, Eleonora, were talking about finger dip, I think, but I'm not sure. So what about that? Have you guys thought about, oh yes, she's saying thank you. So probably, yeah, that is what she was referring to. What about sustainability? Have you thought about sustainability while you were designing finger
dip? So, well, if it's finger dip, I don't know if it's if everyone knows, but latex is 100% sustainable. So, and it's a great material to design with. So I think we didn't know that in the beginning when we first had our idea, but once we discovered that it was sustainable, it did really give us, like, we were like, wow, so this is so intelligent, because we're actually producing something that has almost zero impact. I mean, obviously it's impossible to say zero impact because we're adding color, because many things are happening, but we discovered through this company that produces balloons that latex is a really great material to work with. And obviously condoms are made with the same material. So it's funny, but we didn't really think of sustainability to start with, but when we discovered that it was so sustainable, we did get really excited about it.
Right. Fantastic. Any other question, guys, for these lovely food designers? Let us know in the chat room. In the meantime, I have a few, actually. I think, Eva, you guys from Papila did give us a definition of food design, your definition of food design. Would you mind, am I correct, guys? Did you guys give her, I think you did.
Yeah, I did, but if you want, I can tell you.
Yeah, do it again. Then I would like to hear from both of you. What is food design from you, even if you just food?
I don't know if Roberto...
Hello, Roberto, welcome.
Hi. Well, a definition for food design is like a definition for design. They are each definition for each designer. This designer have a particular definition of who is her job. For me, for example, design is a discipline between or mix the relation between food and think like a designer. You can use your knowledge to work with the food like a material only, or like a final like a final project. Two, I think from my point of view, food design have to ¿cómo lo digo? Have an scale an industrial scale, from my point of view. If I think it's a different point of view, but we try to think in food design to translate our product to the industrial scale.
Yeah, this is your sector, maybe.
Yeah, but we don't
discriminate against others.
Yeah, little project or from restaurant or friends. Each project is different, but the concept, the principal concept, we think in an industrial scale.
Yeah, and this makes perfect sense because of your own background. You come from product design, interior design, industrial design. So it makes perfect sense. Thank you, guys. Eleonora?
Yes. Definition?
Yes, or well, yeah. If you don't have the perfect sentence, it's fine. What do you think food design is? What is food design for you?
Well, I think it's designing with food and for food, and
what is this? This is my backup, my like follow-up question. What is, because to me this is the most fascinating thing about food design. What is the difference about between designing food with the food material or for the food material and with any other material? Wood, steel, glass, plastic. What is it about food that makes it so, that makes designing it so, for me, I would say inspiring and interesting, just cool.
I mean, there is the element of another sense. I mean, there's taste by another sense. So obviously, it's richer in a way. I don't know if you can say richer, but it's
absolutely.
so
more intense.
That does, yeah, that does add some. You know, it's different.
Definitely, I completely agree. That fifth sense, taste, is the difference between food and anything else. We don't eat a wooden table. We don't lick lamps from the ceiling or walls, but we do get to taste and eat food. Absolutely. Let's see if there are other questions here from the chat room. Marius, who is your questions for? What about updating designs? Have you ever thought one of your designs need a little update? Maybe it's for both of you guys. For example, with my Fallen project, once I finished it, I realized the new concept that appeared and they needed to appear on it. So now I'm reading it. Well, so what about updating your design? Have you ever thought one of your design needed a little update? Maybe soon after having finished your project, or maybe a while after having finished it. Eleonora.
Sorry?
Did you hear?
I didn't hear the question exactly.
Okay. What about updating designs? Have you ever thought one of your designs needed a little update? Maybe soon after finishing your project or after a while?
But in what sense? Like,
I think in terms of redesign, Marius, am I correct? Something that you thought you needed to tweak, or you needed to, maybe a project that you did like 5-6 years ago, and you now look at it and you think, now 2016, I probably could change this or that, or maybe not.
Usually what in our experience to now, we always get the other sense. Like maybe 10 years later, we're like, wow, it still looks amazing. And like with Finger Dip, for example, you know, like these kids that designed the tidy tips. I mean, they came out almost like 10 years later, not 10, but I think 6 or 7, with something that, you know, we came up with 6 years earlier. So for now, our experience is reversed. Like we're always pretty much like we're very pleased to see that most of our designs, we look at them 5 or 6 years later and we either say, wow, they're still very innovative, or, you know, I would have done the same exact thing today.
Fantastic.
I think we're still very young to say that. Like probably if we had a product that was 20 years old, then we would be redesigning, but we're still small.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Eva and Roberto?
Oh, Leonora is right, because nowadays we didn't think about it, because our products are very young and
Okay, I have another question. You guys don't work specifically with recipes, but maybe you have an opinion about these. Do you consider recipes some sort of design process, like a series of decisions taken to have a specific result?
Should I say?
Yeah, go, Leonora.
Well, I think, I mean, obviously the design process or the creative process that happens when you're designing a product or in food design I think it's so close to, you know, even what a cook does. So of course, I have to say it's.
There are food. Food. I don't know what's the word in English, but there are people that they try to make different recipes with for each dish when they combine different ingredients and they, for them, that's food design. And I don't know how is the career in English, but
innovators, food scientists, food technologies.
Food scientists. It could be. They know a lot about the chemistry of food.
Okay, so this is interesting. If this is an aspect that interests our audience, right now we have two food design studios that really have a product design and industrial design perspective. Maybe in the future I should have another guest that comes from more of a chef, culinary arts background, and hear what they say, how they compare their process to a design process. Maybe it's time for us to close, because I think we have been here for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So thank you everybody for the patience. I would go on forever, but I'm just cautious about the time. But I have one final question for you, given the title of this webinar. You guys have been doing this for, both of you, for about 10 years, more than 10 years, I think, right? Both AMeBE and Papila. More or less. So what is your advice for people who are starting in their food design career now? You have done things right, and maybe you have done mistakes, because that's of course how we learn. So what would you say to young, energetic food designers who are eager to start their career in this wonderful, wonderful discipline? Who wants to go first? Papila, go.
I don't know. For me, they have to work really, 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 really hard, and they have to be really motivated. They have to improve themselves, studying, traveling, reading, making everything, and work a lot. For me, I don't know if Roberto. ¿Qué le consejo le darías a la gente que empieza?
A la gente. Sí.
An advice, I don't know. Be constantly. Go with the eyes wide open.
Yeah, open mind.
Be very curiosity, and asking a lot everybody.
I like that. Ask a lot of questions to everybody. Yes.
Forget the scare to ask people. It's my advice to.
I completely agree. Thank you so much. Eleonora?
Sí. Well, I mean, I think one of the things that we've really learned that no one ever told us was to be patient, because sometimes, you know, you can have like the best idea and the timing is not necessarily as you wish. So obviously you have to work hard, you have to be constant, you have to, you know, you have to do your research, you know. But given all that, sometimes, you know, you also have to be patient. I mean, you have to fight, and sometimes you have to be patient, because it's hard. It's a tough world.
It's really hard.
It's a really tough world, and you know, that's another component that no one ever told us. Everyone always told, you know, you have to insist, you have to fight, blah blah blah. And now we're like, okay, but you also, you know, sometimes you have to be like Zen.
Yeah, that's true. So what we can take from your answers, guys: perseverance, not being afraid of asking questions, being curious, and being patient. So with this, I would like to thank both of our wonderful food design studios, and Eva and Roberto and Alberto, who couldn't be here, and Eleonora and Alessandra, who couldn't be here. She's probably at home with her baby.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, she sent me a text, and
best of luck with the flu. He has the flu, or she?
She, Clementina,
he has the flu.
yeah.
So thank you, Alessandro, Eleonora. Thank you, Eva, Roberto, and Alberto, who couldn't be here. This has been a pleasure. It's lasted a long time now that I look in my watch, but to me, it really flew. So you've been excellent. Thank you for sharing with us your experience and your projects and your thoughts. Thank you for inspiring these all the young food designers who are eager to start this career, and maybe some aged like me food designers who are already in their career and are thinking about and are looking for inspiration. By the way, designers are like cheese and wine. The more they age, the better they become. So thank you, everybody. I'm going you guys and to everybody who followed us live, and I'll see you at the next webinar. Yeah, thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day and happy food design.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.